Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Sports Saviors. It is August 20th, 2026, eve of the Steelers' second preseason game of the year. Lee, how are you doing tonight? 9:08 p.m.
Doing all right, hanging out, just getting ready, a little bit excited to talk some Steelers preseason.
Yeah, I guess we'll go right into last week. Any thoughts you have on the game last week? Anything that surprised you, made you feel good? Any go anywhere? Go for it.
I thought it was, for being a preseason game, I thought it was a pretty good game. You know, Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, and Drew Aller, they all look pretty decent. Again, it's preseason. You're not playing against all the full starters, things like that. But the quarterback room looked pretty decent. Again, Aaron Rodgers is not starting because, it is preseason. He will be the starter week one. But I, if Mike McCarthy decides to keep, three backup quarterbacks, I think we're going to be in good shape with backups in case anything were to happen, Aaron Rodgers or to any of the backups regarding any type of injury or things like that. But I think they're pretty good. I think they showed off their talent. And if something were to come about with a team looking for another backup, we definitely got a few, backups that we could trade for maybe picks later on or things like that. But the team looked pretty good. Jeremy, what was his name? Jeremy, the wide receiver. I can't think of his last name.
Bernard. Yeah.
Jeremy Bernard. He looked pretty good out there. Had a few catches and things like that. Got to see Asante Samuel Jr. out there starting because of the injuries with Jalen Ramsey and Joey Porter Jr. So he was out there, it looked pretty decent. Again, I'm not saying he's the go-to guy, but overall, it was a pretty decent game. Got to see some scoring and drives like that, and it's going to be a different offense because we know Mike McCarthy's the one throwing, making the play calls and, things like that. He's a quarterback guy. He's more offensive guy. So it'll be interesting to see because the Steelers are so used to having like defensive coaches and being more defense first. But, Mike McCarthy's a different guy, different coach. And so it'll be, I'm excited to see what, they kind of do for week two. I did see rumors that Will Howard might be starting week, game.
No rumors. Yeah, that's happening. Will Howard's going to start the first half. I would assume Howard's going to come in the second half. I don't know if they're going to split it 50-50 exactly, but I would assume that's the case.
Yeah.
Rudolph's not going to play. So we're just going to see the two young guys, which would be nice. That was the next question I was going to ask is what are you looking forward to seeing the second game? Personally, I'm hoping that we see Roman Wilson get some chances to play in the slot more because that's where he's on the depth chart. He was playing on the outside, I'm pretty sure, for most of the preseason game, preseason week one. So I'd like to see him in the slot because that's where he's going to be playing, and we've heard good things about him so far. Other than that, we really haven't talked too. You brought up Asante Samuel on the defense. Is there anything in the defense you're looking to see?
I know that we're not going to get the starters and things.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Is everyone's so old?
Yeah, exactly. So, I just want to see some of these guys that, the second string, third string guys, I want to see a couple plays. There wasn't any defensive turnovers in the preseason, this first preseason game. I'd like to at least see one or two maybe in this second game, see if these guys, some of these guys can get a name for themselves and, maybe get a sack here or, a stop run from behind the line, interception, fumble recovery, things like that. Something, that we could kind of see somebody make a spark play on defense. So that's something I'd like to see happen on defense. But overall, I think week one the preseason week one game was pretty good.
Yeah, and the other thing we all want to see is make sure everyone leaves the game healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we always got to reference that.
Yes,
even though it's the most obvious thing in the world. Make sure that you leave the game healthy.
Yes, 100%,
so yeah, they're going to play tomorrow night against the Jets. Let me pull up Mike McCarthy's press conference from yesterday.
I think that's at home, right? They're playing here at home. I think at home.
They were just home, so I'm not 100% sure.
Oh.
But I think you're right. I think you are right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here we go with Mike McCarthy from this week.
You got a plan for QB, Mike?
Sorry?
You have a plan for Quarterbacks, yeah, we're going to play the 2 young guys for the Jets game. Will be our focus.
There you go, right there, answering the question you were talking about a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Who will go first? Who will go second?
Will Howard go first.
Will you guys be bringing back the full complement of receivers? Do you guys expect DK and
I mean, we got a couple guys that are still coming back, on the medical part. We got 48 hours. I'll get all that stuff to Bert will get that to you here in the next 48 hours. Make sure you have everything.
I mean, if they're not going to start Rodgers, they're not going to start Rudolph.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see them bringing the receivers out there. I don't think
DK or
DK
Pittman.
Pittman.
Yeah.
I think they'll both be sin, but the young guys will get some snaps for sure.
Yeah.
We're trying to get some work out of Bert.
What's the behind just getting Will and Drew those meaningful reps?
Oh, I think you understand. They're young. Will didn't get to play last year. Drew's a first-year player. Have 2 veterans I feel really good about, obviously with Aaron and Mason. I saw what I needed to see from Mason last week. I've talked highly about Mason really since the spring. So I really want to max out the opportunities with both Will and Drew.
in terms of their
Anything taken away from that statement there?
I don't know. There's a part of me that thinks that with him saying, I seen what I seen enough of Mason, maybe if there is a trade or
We're gonna
something.
get into it. We're gonna get into it a little more later on. I actually, it'll be fun. The angle I'm gonna take on it, you might have some pushback then.
Okay, all right.
So let's hold off on that exactly.
Okay, all right.
Reps, I mean, is it hard to evaluate? I mean, who Will's running with compared to who Drew will be running with?
Well, I mean, that's part of it. Yeah, no doubt. I think, who you play and how you play, that's all part of the evaluation. But I think that.
Did you catch that?
Was that somebody? What was somebody doing back there?
No, there was a spotted lantern fly on his jacket.
Oh, is that what that was? Okay.
They're back. I saw my first one this week too.
Yeah. They're a menace.
It seems like it's gonna come back to Pittsburgh this fall, right in time for football season.
Yeah.
We got 2 games here, and I want to see those guys play as much as possible, and we'll continue as we have all camp. Just you'll see it today is try to keep working as many players with different combinations because I want to come out of this with a lot of video, a high understanding of every one of these guys, and I want to give every player a chance to play in the game Friday night, and I want to give every guy a chance to make our 68-man our roster between the 53 and the practice squad.
The specifics of what you did see from Mason that made you feel comfortable, what were they? What you see on the field that you might have seen as well during training?
Mason has great command of the offense. I mean, just pure on the field game day. He's very experienced. He's strong personality in the locker room. I really like this command, understanding the offense. He's been through a number of systems. He's been asked to do things differently for how we believe the quarterback position is played. He's done an excellent job.
Like Caleb Johnson hasn't had a ton of opportunities to run the ball. Will he get more, and what do you need to see from him?
I hope so. If the guy calling the plays just would run the ball more, I think I'd help him out. So we'll just continue to work that way. But yeah, he'll play. I mean, he'll play. He'll play Friday night and then hopefully play a bunch up in Buffalo. We do. We really want to focus on the younger part of our team and give these guys a chance to make our squad.
That's something we didn't mention. Caleb Johnson was like the 4th or 5th back out of the to take a snap this past week. I was shocked by that. With the 2 big guys out, Warren and Dowdle, I thought for sure it'd be Johnson that starting the game, and so we got Summer. I am interested to see what happens here. Maybe it's going to be a surprise cut, which would be shocking in my eyes, but I just don't. For him to be that far down the totem pole, concerns me for his future with the team.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked too that we didn't get to see him earlier, like you mentioned, in that first preseason game. I'm curious to see if Mike McCarthy is going to give him the opportunity to maybe start, this game tomorrow, or at least maybe be the second guy that comes out. But
yeah, if he's not in early, that is a glaring sign in my eyes.
Yeah.
His spot in the roster.
Am I crazy? But does Mike McCarthy look like he's getting older already?
I just He just looks like a thumb to me.
Well, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like his beard's gotten grayer.
One of them Spy Kid villains.
Yeah, I could see it.
Ever see the Spy Kids?
Yeah.
Spy Kids 2, something.
What has Eli Heidenreich shown you as far as, you know?
Sorry?
What has Eli Heidenreich shown you so far? I know he was out for some time.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me with Eli, he missed so much time with the injury, so it was good to see him get out there. And I just think he, hopefully with this, we had a little more rest than we anticipated, but hopefully he'll benefit from that, get his legs back the way they were before the injury. So I just want to see him take a step, get more comfortable, particularly in the run game. See the burst that he has shown on the practice field. So I'd like to see him get more opportunities.
Before we talk about Eli, are you suggesting that Mike Tomlin in the Steelers' job is like the president of the United States and it ages you?
I think so. I do think so. However, since Mike Tomlin has left and I saw his little clip on Jimmy Fallon, he looks younger. So I don't know. Maybe there's a reverse aging thing once you leave the Steelers.
You know what? Let's pull that up. Let's see how he's doing.
I just watched a little bit of it. My grandmother was an avid watcher, and so I know she's smiling at me right now.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
How sweet. What are your thoughts on the opening there?
He looks pretty good. He looks like he's a new man. He's out there enjoying his life.
Oh, God. I think they talk about some of his Tomlinisms, but I haven't watched this.
Yeah,
so
they do.
I don't know how far into it it'll be.
They do talk about some of his stuff.
Let's just go forward and see what happens.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Some of the highlights.
Yeah, here we go.
Who's your favorite? Go out of the one showed there. What's your favorite?
Definitely the walk-off is that's just perfect. That I remember even we were talking about that. That was that Colts game where they got embarrassed in that game and he just fucking left. That was great.
For me, it's the eyelids because it's just so ridiculous, and it's such a fucking ridiculous coach speak. If you're a blinker, cut your eyelids out. It's an old timer.
Yeah.
Fine.
So you're like, I'll later. I'll see you later.
They might find me less if I walk out.
The youthful Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
On your TV screens every Sunday night.
Looking pretty good.
Than Mike Tomlin. He's going to turn out. With this season goes down, all the apologists that are going to come back after they shit on him for so long.
Oh yeah.
This is different when we had Tomlin and we got this McCarthy guy and he don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm planning on going to the next segment here. Do you have a what's that about? I do not. So we can move on to something else if not. If you have anything that you had on your mind for this week.
I got one thing.
All right, let's play through it then. Let's play the hits. Whoop. All right, what's that about, Lee?
I'm a little confused on this whole WNBA thing that's going on.
Which part?
the Enes Kanter or Enes.
Oh, okay.
World Peace, I should say, whatever his name is.
Enes Freedom.
Enes Freedom. Sorry. What's that about? He wants to be there. What's going on?
Don't leave out Royce White.
Oh, can't forget him.
Potential congressman. I think he's going to Congress or Senate.
Yes.
He might go for Senate. Either way, obviously they're trying to make a statement, but at the same time, I just see it's a publicity stunt.
Yeah.
And it's not going to go anywhere. We get your point. Hopefully, it seems like it's blown over since. I didn't see too much over the past week or so. So I think they're just trying to get their quick hit, and it's going back to normal. But Enes Kanter, I don't trust that guy. Anyone that changes their name to Freedom, I don't know.
What are your thoughts on your boy? He changed his name to Meta World Peace. What the hell is his name?
That was different. Ron Artest. Ron Artest is just a psychopath. There's nothing dangerous behind that. He's just a lunatic. Answer, you can't trust that guy. I don't trust him. That's just where I stand.
Do you trust him or do you trust Dennis Rodman more?
Who are we talking about?
The guy, Dennis Rodman, the guy. He's
who?
Or Ron Artest.
I mean, Rodman had a flair and a fun to him that Ron Artest does not have, and it's nothing against Ron Artest. He's a psychopath.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
that's all I got. That's all I got. I'm just, what's that about? That's all I want to know.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Maybe some Maverick owner will hire them and see what they can do.
That would be fun.
There are no Maverick owners in the WWE. Okay, now here's the take. Here's what I wanted to go with next.
All right.
Our, introduction to this new segment. All right, the worst take in Pittsburgh sports for this week, in my eyes, is related to something you brought up, and I think you might be on the opposite side. And that take is that the Steelers should get rid of Mason Rudolph before the season starts. I am firmly on the other side of that. They're playing for 2026. You bring Aaron Rodgers back to win in 2026.
Yeah.
And the thought is, okay, we still got these two guys. If you lose Rodgers anyway, you're going to lose. Not if Rodgers is gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
If Rodgers has like a 3-week injury, I don't know, an ankle, something that's a little less serious. I want Mason Rudolph to be that guy. I want him to be out there and to be the guy that comes in. I don't trust either rookie. I don't care about their development into the future. This is about 2026. We have a defense that is aging. This team has a lot of money invested in a lot of guys that are up there. And if you want to win, you're going to win this year. You're not going to win next year with Will Howard or Drew Aller in my eyes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm underestimating what these guys can be. But sitting here today, I think the take that has been the worst this week is that Mason Rudolph should not be on this 53-man roster. And it's something that a lot of guys have been putting out there. The one that has given the best reasoning for it, so I didn't want to go drag some idiot that's just saying whatever. Here is Doug Whaley's position on why Mason Rudolph could possibly not be on this 53-man roster.
Play Will Howard and Drew Aller. Drew Aller with a quarterback rating of 155. They did exactly what I said I wanted to see. Howard showed a command of the offense, especially that 2-minute drill. It was, all right, boom, I got it. Boom, 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 boom. Never saw any like a deer in the headlights look. Didn't look frazzled, looked completely in control, command. And then Aller executed. Now, were those throws complicated throws? Was he going to the second, third read? No, but the offensive coaching staff put him in position to make plays that he can make and execute and gain confidence and then have it as a building block. So kudos to the quarterbacks and their performance, but more kudos to the coaching staff and how they handled them and put them in situations to start gaining that confidence and building that equity that those quarterbacks will have not only in themselves, but their teammates will have in the possible future that can come from those two guys battling it out to see who's going to be. I think in the end, if it continues like this, and this is my hot take of the day, those guys should be 2 and 3, and Mason Rudolph's out. Because in my opinion, you can find a Mason Rudolph in the middle of the season. You can't find, again, let me clarify, if they continue to progress like this, can't find 2 young quarterbacks with upsides like that in the middle of the season. You're not going to get them off a practice squad. You can get a veteran that can come in, learn the system like that, because veterans, they've been in 4 or 5 systems. It's just terminology that changes, right?
Yeah.
Dorn?
Oh, yeah.
Football's football.
Right.
There's no new plays out there. It's just terminology out here. You can get and he's on a team, but a Carson Wentz in the middle of the season.
So I love you can get a guy, and then he mentions a guy that you could not get. in the middle of the
Yeah.
season with Carson Wentz. But yeah, that's the take. And he hedges a lot. He says if they play better and things like that. But other people out there are saying that this is just that what you got to do. You got to look to the future. You got to keep both these guys. You don't need Rudolph. You need to and the idea of going into the season without Mason Rudolph, in my opinion, just would be foolish. So where are you at?
I agree with you. I think that, if like you brought up a great point, if Aaron Rodgers gets a 3-4 week injury, how can you really trust these guys who haven't even had a snap? At least Mason Rudolph has been able to come in and be able to be a starter in this league at some points and have some starts to come in for an injured quarterback, whether it was here on the Steelers or when he went to Tennessee for a little bit. He at least had the time and the experience to be out there to play with starters on not only the offensive side, but to play against starters on the opposite team's defensive side. So he has that experience. And so I think I agree. I think that, it's better to keep him now and not get rid of him during the preseason. I think that, it's good with seeing with what Will Howard and Drew Aller are doing. But again, we got to remember that they are not playing with starters on both sides of the field.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have the experience of playing a full game in an actual game, in an actual real game. Preseason, I'm not going to say that it's nothing because it still is something, because it's still the game and people can still get hurt and other things can happen and things like that. But it's not something that dictates how the season's going to go for you when it comes down to December and January for playoff time. This is the preseason. This is like practice, things like that. And so I'm for having Drew Aller and Will Howard on the team. I think that, maybe Mike McCarthy should keep 4 quarterbacks just to be safe and things like that. And if things progress with, Mason Rudolph and how he talks him up and things like that in his press conferences and things like that, maybe there will be a team that needs a Mason Rudolph down the road, and, maybe week 7 come trade deadline, maybe he is traded to a team that definitely needs a quarterback like him. I'm not for getting rid of him now. I think that they should keep him in case of, per se, injury to Aaron Rodgers in the future.
Yeah, and he brought up you can find a guy like Mason. Maybe you can, but he's not going to be able to come in in the third quarter when Rodgers smacks his hand off a helmet and has to sit for a couple drives. He's not going to be able to come in on a short week when you go from a Sunday to a Thursday and you need to get something ready. Things like that happen, and this team needs to win any game they can. They're not good enough to give away wins. In situations like that. So maybe you could find another guy like Mason, but you're not going to be able to fill him in right away the way he's trying to portray it as. And I don't want to rely on these 2 young guys to be the ones that have to fill in those roles. Especially in game. In game, like if Rodgers goes down in a tight game late, you throwing out either a rookie or a guy who's virtually a rookie because he didn't get to play it all last season. It's just not a great recipe for a team that is in win now mode. Whatever you want to suggest, they're in win now mode.
I'm not saying that Will Howard or Drew Aller aren't going to be great quarterbacks down the road. They have the potential to do that, but not every backup or rookie quarterback or first year quarterback is a Tom Brady or Ben Roethlisberger be able to come in his rookie season and lead the team, or Peyton Manning or Patrick Mahomes or things like that. It doesn't happen like that all the time. Not every quarterback is that way. So do these guys have potential? Sure. That I can definitely see these guys being starters in the league in the foreseeable near future. But right now, with not having the experience to be able to actually start a game, I think they should be on the team, but I don't think you got to get rid of Mason yet.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And like people are suggesting it's going to hurt their development and things like that. It's about winning games, and I think you win games first and foremost in the season we're in right now. Even without the reps that they're going to lose if Mason's on the roster, Aller can still work on the things in his throwing and his motion and things that needed fixed. Howard can look on and see things. There's ways to develop without these reps that they're talking about in practice. Like they're talking about practice reps being the difference. And then there was my Allen Iverson fucking impression, I guess there. Anyway, for the reason this really is the worst take though is let's go back to what Mike McCarthy had said during the press conference.
Yeah. All right.
What you did see from Mason that made you feel comfortable, what were they? What you see on the field that you might have seen as well during training?
Mason has great command of the offense. I mean, just pure on the field game day. He's very experienced. He's strong personality in the locker room. I really like this command, understanding the offense. You know, he's been through a number of systems. He's been asked to do things differently for how we believe the quarterback position is played. He's done an excellent job.
That doesn't sound like a guy that's going anywhere in my eyes.
No,
that's a guy who McCarthy has some faith in. You had mentioned before we got to that point about, hey, that first comments he was making, it kind of sounded like maybe they're looking around to shop him around. But I think that comment there slams the door on it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I mean, I gotta take Mike McCarthy's word because he's a head coach in the National Football League.
Yeah.
He's been there before. He knows what he's looking for. He knows what he sees in these guys. You know, we can go out there and speculate like the guy that was on, 93.7 The Fan and talk up things with their own opinion, things like that. But he doesn't have the experience that Mike McCarthy has. And what Mike McCarthy is saying, I got to kind of go off of what he's saying and to believe what he's saying, that, what he sees out there with Mason has to be true.
Yeah. And so that is the worst take of the week for me. Am I being too harsh on the
No, not at all. I think that that was a great point to be brought up. I mean, because, I'm not here to say that, again, Drew Aller or Will Howard are the guy moving forward, but for everybody to just be like, oh, we got our franchise tag them now. Let's get them on. It's preseason. It's week 1 in the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get some time for them to at least get established, get some more reps. Like McCarthy said in the press conference, to be able to have different combinations of different starters and positions out there that they can, get a chance to play with, so they can kind of see where they fit and where they don't fit with things. You got to still get that going on. We still have 2 more weeks of the preseason. Aaron Rodgers has 1 more year, as he says, is going to be his last year, and what could be even worse to have Will Howard and or Drew Aller sit for another year behind a veteran quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, if he is now kind of giving in to being able to be that veteran to give the advice and talk to these guys, to get them, better for the foreseeable future. I don't see an issue with that at all. Aaron Rodgers will be there. These guys will probably still be on the team. Let them get some more chances to practice and be able to get more reps.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that's a good spot to end. Tomorrow night, the Steelers play the Jets. 7:00 start again, I believe. So have a good night, Lee.
Have a good one. We'll see ya.